Good morning, everyone. Let's wait for the others to join. Good morning. This is Coach Pin again. Okay, so our today's module is Introduction to Anatomy and Physiology. Let's wait for the others. Few more minutes and then we will start. Welcome to our usual viewers coming from Philippines, Indonesia, and Africa, Kenya, Nairobi. You can use our live chat from which country you came from. You can definitely utilize our live chat. I would like to know who are the active countries that are usually viewing our live stream. Okay, let's start. So for today's module, basic anatomy and physiology for medical virtual assistants. So this module is very important for those that does not have any medical or healthcare background. So don't get overwhelmed with the terminologies. This is just a basic, good to know knowledge. All right. Okay, let's start with introduction to human anatomy. Introduction to Human Anatomy. All right. So the human anatomy is the study of the structure and organization of the human body. It provides a foundation for understanding how different body systems work together to maintain life. So what are the key areas of human anatomy? So we have gross anatomy, which focuses on structures visible to the naked eye, such as the organs and tissues. And we also have microscopic anatomy, which examines cells and tissues at a microscopic level. And then developmental anatomy studies how the body develops over time from embryo to adulthood. So for the key areas of human anatomy, we have gross anatomy, microscopic anatomy, and developmental anatomy. All right. So what are the key components of the human body? Key components of the human body, we have the cells. Cells are the building blocks of life, carrying out essential functions, smallest living organism in the body. And then we have tissues. These are groups of similar cells that form organs and structures. So organs, specialized structures like the heart, lungs, and brain that perform vital tasks. So for the body systems, These are the coordinated groups of organs responsible for various bodily functions. And the organism, this is the living being that has a cellular structure that can perform all physiologic functions necessary for life. All right. As you can see here on the visual representation, we have the cells, the tissue, organ, the body systems in the organism. All right. Okay, next, what are the major body systems? So this one is a good to know for those who are not familiar with medical terminologies or any background, those that have no background on anatomy and physiology, these are the good to know information that you can be familiar with. Okay, so that it will be easier for you to navigate your task on a daily basis. All right, so for the major body systems, we have skeletal system. So it provides support and protection through bones. Muscular system enables movement through muscles. Nervous system controls body functions via the brain, spinal cord, and nerves. Cardiovascular system circulates blood, oxygen, and nutrients. Respiratory system, it facilitates breathing and gas exchange. Digestive system, it processes food and absorbs nutrients. Endocrine system regulates hormones and metabolism. Reproductive system, it ensures reproduction and genetic continuation. Excretory system, it filters and removes waste products and excess fluids from the body. Lymphatic system, it helps filter toxins and supports immune function. Immune system, it protects the body from infectious diseases. And then integumentary system acts as a protective barrier against environmental factors. Again, our major body system is skeletal, muscular, nervous, cardiovascular, respiratory, digestive, endocrine, reproductive, excretory, lymphatic, immune system, and integumentary system. I know these are a lot of terminologies to memorize, but this is very helpful if you don't have any background on medical or healthcare niche. Okay. Next is the requirements of human life. So requirements of human life, we have nutrients that can be produced from vitamins, food, and water, oxygen, and temperature range. So anatomy comes from combining the two Greek words ana means apart and tomi meaning to cut. So anatomy, apart, and to cut. So the human body planes are imaginary lines used to divide the body into sections, helping medical professionals and anatomies describe locations and movements. And here are the three main planes. Okay, so if you can see here on the sample, I will make this bigger. I hope you can see this. Okay, so we have here transverse plane, coronal plane, and sagittal plane or sagittal plane. Okay, transverse, coronal, and sagittal. All right, let's describe those three planes. So for the sagittal plane or the median plane, it divides the body into left and right halves. So movements along this plane include forward and backward motion such as walking or nodding. A mid-sagittal plane divides the body into equal left and right halves, while a parasagittal plane divides it unequally. So for the frontal plane or coronal plane, it splits the body into front, anterior, and back posterior section. And then movements in this plane include side-to-side motions such as jumping jacks. Okay? So you can visualize how it cuts through the plane. Okay? For the transverse plane or the horizontal plane, separates the body into top or the superior and bottom or the inferior parts. Movements in this plane involve rotational motions like twisting the torso or turning the head. Okay? So let's go back to the plane. We have sagittal, frontal, and transverse. So this is the graphical representation. Sagittal, coronal, and transverse. All right. Okay, and then next, let's go to the views of the body. Views of the body. I'll try to make this a little bit bigger. All right, there. So for the views of the body, we have anterior or the front of the body, this area. This is anterior, the front of the body. And then we have the lateral or the side of the body. And then we have supine, to lie, face up, supine. Okay, and then we have dorsal or the back. And then we have distal or farthest away from the organ, distal. Distal usually is on the end of the hand and the end of the toe. Okay, distal. And then we have ventral. This is belly side of the body, ventral. And cephalic or the head. Okay. And then for the top portion, we usually um, mention it as superior. All right, superior or to lie face up, or anything that is on the top portion of the body. Right. Cephalic means it's in the head, near the head. Okay. So we have anterior, lateral, supine, dorsal, distal, ventral, proximal, and cephalic. All right. So these are the graphical representation of those terms. All right. Breaking down the areas of the body. So we have here the back or the lumbar. We have lumbar, thoracic, and sacral. Okay, this is in here. The back portion, lumbar, thoracic, and sacral. And then for the neck, we have cervical. And then for the arms, we have upper extremity, carpal, brachial, and acromial. Right? And then for the legs, we have lower extremity, we have fibular, plantar, and femoral. Okay, so if I will start here on the, let's try to make it bigger so that you can see it. Okay, so let's check on this figure on the right side. If you can see here, we have cephalic. The cephalic side, we have occipital, cervical, okay? And then we have scapular here on the shoulder blade, vertebral, this is the vertebral column. We have lumbar on the waistline, sacral, and gluteal. All right? And then upper limb, we have acromial near the shoulder. We have brachial, this is your upper arm. Okay? And then we have antebrachial, the lower arm. Okay? And then we have the digital, these are your fingers. And then on the lower extremities, we have lower limb or your thigh. Under this is your hip, femoral, popliteal, and fibular. And then near the foot, we have calcaneal and digital and plantar. All right. So same here on the left figure, you can see here frontal, orbital, nasal, buccal, and oral. Okay. And then we have thoracic for the sternum. We have abdominal, umbilical or umbilicus, and then we have pelvic, and then we have inguinal and pubic for the genital. Okay, so these are the key areas of your body. All right, so this is color coded. Those that are colored red belongs to thorax. Those that are light blue is your abdomen, and the green one is your back or dorsum or dorsal. Uh, Next, we go to human body organs. So, what are the big organs of the body? Okay, so for the brain, we have the circuit board of the body. So, it functions at the circuit board of the body. For the heart, delivery of blood to tissues. Thyroid is for energy or metabolism gatekeeper. The lungs is for oxygen exchange. The stomach or intestines, they are for digestion and absorption. And then the kidney or bladder is for waste management. Okay, so these items are for physiological or functions of each organs of the body. All right, so we will discuss again the common medical terminology that is related to your anatomy and physiology. I believe we already discussed this, but I will just repeat it for the anatomy module. Okay, so as we have discussed before, we have prefix, suffix, and root words. Okay, cardi means heart, gastro means stomach, hepa means liver, rein means nose, cephal means head, art means joint, me or my is muscle, and then carcine is cancer. So these are just good to know words. Okay, so let's give an example for this. So for word prefixes, Brady means slow, Pachi means thick, Taki means fast, Ante is in front of, Epi is above, Peri is around, Bi means two, Hyper means excessive, Hypo means insufficient, and Uni means one. Okay? And then for the word suffixes, we have itis means inflammation, algia means pain, asthenia means weakness, emis is condition of blood, and then lith is stone. We have lysis that means distraction, opia means vision, globin is protein. All right. Next, what are the common medical conditions that are related to body systems? Okay, so for the circulatory system, we have hypertension. It means high blood pressure that is affecting arteries. Heart disease includes conditions like coronary artery disease and heart failure. Stroke, it occurs when blood flow to the brain is disrupted. Respiratory system, we have asthma. It causes the airway inflammation and breathing difficulties. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease or COPD. This is a progressive lung disease. Pneumonia. This is an infection that inflames air sacs in the lungs. Digestive system. This is gastroesophageal reflux disease or GERD. This is acid reflux causing heartburn. And then irritable bowel syndrome or IBS, it affects digestion and bowel movements. And we also have liver disease. It includes conditions like cirrhosis and hepatitis. So all of these medical conditions, you will usually see it in the electronic health records to the common diagnosis of your patients. Okay, so these are the good to know medical conditions. Okay, let's continue. So for the excretory system, we have kidney stones. These are hard deposits of minerals that cause severe pain when passing through the urinary tract. And then urinary tract infections or UTIs. These are bacterial infections affecting the bladder and urethra. Chronic kidney disease or CKD. This is a progressive loss of kidney. Okay. Progressive loss of kidney function, and then interstitial cystitis is chronic bladder inflammation causing pain and frequent urination. All right, I'll just move here. This is overlapping there. Okay. Next is lymphatic. For the lymphatic system, we have lymphedema or the swelling due to fluid buildup caused by lymphatic system blockages. And Hodgkin's and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, these are cancers affecting lymph nodes and white blood cells. All right, let's continue. We have the integumentary system. For the integumentary system, we have psoriasis. This is an autoimmune skin condition causing red or scaly patches. And then we have eczema or a chronic skin inflammation leading to itching and irritation. And then we have skin cancer that includes melanoma, basal cell carcinoma, and squamous cell carcinoma. And acne, these are black pores leading to inflammation and breakouts. All right, next is understanding the basic physiological processes. Next is understanding basic physiological processes. Okay, let's start with the metabolism. All right, so metabolism refers to the set of life sustaining chemical reactions in organisms. It involves catabolic reactions, breaking down molecules to release energy. And then anabolic reactions, it means building up molecules requiring energy input. And then ATP production, this is adenosine triphosphate or ATP. It is the primary energy carrier in cells produced through process like oxidative phosphorylation. And then homeostasis is the body's ability to maintain a stable internal environment despite external changes. So it involves temperature regulation, maintaining body temperature within a narrow range, blood glucose level, so regulating blood sugar through insulin and glucagon, electrolyte balance, ensuring proper ion concentrations for cellular functions. All right. So let's proceed with another physiological processes, which is cellular respiration. The slide is still loading. All right. So cellular respiration is the process by which cells convert nutrients into energy. So example is glycolysis, so breakdown of glucose into pyruvate in the cytoplasm. Citric acid cycle, it occurs in the mitochondria, producing electron carriers. And then electron transport chain, it uses electrons to produce ATP, the energy currency of the cell. Another physiological process that is very important is protein synthesis. So this is the creation of proteins based on genetic information. So for transcription, DNA is transcribed to messenger RNA or mRNA in the nucleus. And then for translation, mRNA is translated into amino acid sequences at ribosomes forming proteins. Okay, so these are all the physiological processes. Let's continue. Next is neurotransmission. Okay, so neurotransmission, this is the communication between nerve cells. So what are the action potentials? So these are the electrical signals that travel along the neurons. Synaptic transmission means neurotransmitters cross synapses to transmit signals to adjacent neurons. So when we say neurotransmission, it happens on the nerve cells coming from the brain and then to the other parts of the body. Okay. And then next is muscle contraction. So muscle contraction enables movement. So example is neuromuscular junction. So the nerve impulses trigger muscle fiber contraction. And then the sliding filament theory. The actin and myosin filaments slide past each other, shortening the muscle. All right. So another very important physiological process is the immune response. Okay, let's wait for the slide to upload. Immune response. The system defends against pathogens. So what are these immunity responses? So we have innate immunity. These are non-specific defense mechanisms like skin barriers. So when we say adaptive immunity, so these are specific responses involving lymphocytes and antibodies. And then we also have endocrine signaling. So the endocrine system regulates body functions through hormones. So the hormone secretion is when the glands release hormones into the bloodstream. And then target cells means hormones bind to specific receptors on target cells, initiating responses. Okay, so these are all the physiological processes of the human anatomy. All right. So I hope you learn a lot from today's module. This topic is about basic anatomy and physiology for medical virtual assistant. I know this is a little bit overwhelming for those that does not have any background on medical field or healthcare, but you will be familiar with this as we go along with our live stream. All right. And I highly encourage everyone to join our live stream on a daily basis. And then I also suggest that you join also our training and internship if you want to learn more and dig deeper on the task or the actual task that a medical virtual assistant is doing with a client. All right. So that's it for today, everyone. And let's continue again tomorrow. So for tomorrow's topic, we will have simple practice. So Saturday and Sunday, I will try to do an actual navigation of an EHR so that you'll be familiar with the basic EHR that a clinic or a hospital usually uses. All right. Thank you so much for today, everyone, and have a great day. See you again tomorrow for another module and live stream. Bye for now.